Hi everybody, and welcome to Christmas Eve Story with Becky. First of all, I'd like to wish you a Merry Christmas, and I hope you have a lovely day tomorrow. And this evening we're going to read a book called Jingle Bells. Christmas time a happy place, or so it should be. Why then on this Christmas Eve did two small mice look so unhappy? It's that cat, grumbled Lottie to her brother Jack. He always spoils things. Ah, yes, that cat. There was only one problem. That cat. There he is. The mice had been hiding food for their Christmas dinner, but the cat had discovered the hiding place. He didn't particularly like grapes or cheese or cake, but still he had eaten every bit and left the mice with nothing. That cat. Cheer up, said Jack. Look what I found, an old glove. Jack began to chew it. We can't eat that, said Lottie. Jack went on chewing, and soon he had gnawed off two of the glove's fingers. There, he said, these can be our Christmas stockings, one each. We can hang them up for Father Christmas. Brilliant, said Lottie. I've never had a Christmas stocking. That night, as the mice snuggled down to sleep, they wondered what Father Christmas would bring them. Lottie had written their names on a note which she had put next to their Christmas stockings, so Father Christmas would know who they were for. Soon Lottie began to snore. Jack began to dream, and the air was filled with the sound of sleigh bells. There they are, fast asleep, waiting for Father Christmas. Christmas morning came. The day was fresh and bright as Lottie and Jack hurried excitedly. But their stockings were empty. Oh, nothing, said Jack sadly, not even a nut. Lottie picked up the note which she had written the night before. Look at this, she said, and underneath their names someone had written, Not here, gone away for Christmas. I know who wrote that, said Jack. They both knew it was that cat. It's time we taught that cat a lesson, said Lottie. But what could they do? He's so big and strong, said Jack. Well, said Lottie, I think we should go and talk to Ton-Chi. Oh, I wonder who Ton-Chi is. There's the mice thinking about what they're going to do. Ton-Chi was a rat. There he is, look, standing by his window. His real name was Gavin, but he liked to be called Ton-Chi. He wore glasses which had no glass in them and wore clothes that had been borrowed from the doll's house in the farmhouse attic. He also borrowed furniture from the doll's house to make his place more homely. Lottie and Jack made their way through the snow towards the old barn where Ton-Chi lived. Suddenly, Jack spotted something. It was shiny and golden. It's a bell, said Jack. It's a sleigh bell, said Lottie. It must have fallen off of Father Christmas's sleigh. It's lovely. Let's take it with us. We'll show it to Ton-Chi. And there they are. You can see the little bell in the snow. I wonder what they could do with a bell. When all the mice reached the barn, they were quite out of breath, but there was still a difficult climb to make. At last, puffing and panting, they came to a little door at the top of the barn. Before Jack could knock, the door opened. Good morning and a very Merry Christmas to you, said the rat. The mice smiled and replied nervously. When they stepped inside the door, Ton Chi shut the door. It is hard to say exactly what the mice and the rats said to each other, but whatever it was, when the door opened, everyone was smiling. And there's Ton Chi letting them in. And there's the mice and Ton Chi having a chat. I wonder what they said. Thank you very much, said Lottie and Jack together. Ton Chi smiled. The pleasure is all mine, he said. Cats can be such a terrible nuisance, he said. Later, after Christmas dinner and some borrowed fruitcake, which Ton Chi had given them, the mice could be seen wrapping a parcel. Later still, they tried not to be seen as they cautiously carried their parcel towards the farmhouse. Curious. There they are walking in the snow, going to deliver the present. I wonder who the present's for. I think I might know. Boxing Day. Mrs. Mackey, the farmer's wife, swung her feet out of bed and put her slippers on. At the foot of the stairs, the cat brushed past her legs. Hello, Angus, she said. What's this? And she picked up a small parcel that was laid on the mat, and the label said, To Angus with love. I think I know who the present's from. It's an extra present for you, Angus, she said to her cat. Angus watched as Mrs. Mackey opened the parcel. But what could it be? There's Angus, and there is Mrs. Mackey undoing the parcel. I wonder. It's a little bell, said Mrs. Mackey, on a pretty red ribbon. Before he could escape, Mrs. Mackey took a firm hold of Angus and tied the ribbon around his neck, and the little bell jingled under his chin. There, she said, you look so lovely. Angus twisted his neck uncomfortably and tried to take it off, and he pulled a face. Don't you dare, said Mrs. Mackey. You keep that on. And there he is, looking very unhappy with his bell. I rather like it. It was about 10 minutes time in the afternoon, about tea time in the afternoon, and Jack and Lottie were having fun in the snow. Suddenly they stopped and they listened. They could hear a jingling of a bell. Quick, something's coming, said Lottie. The mice ran to hide in the cart shed. Look, there they are, running away. What a clever idea. Now they could hear when the cat was coming. As they peered out, they saw a very cross-looking Angus go stalking past. He looked from side to side and shook his head, and the little bell went ding-a-ding-a-ding-a-ding. Said Angus, and he stumped off, jingling as he went. The mice burst in a fit of giggles, and Lottie began to sing. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Now Angus can't sneak up on us, and we can go and play. And they laughed and they laughed. It may not have been a very Merry Christmas, said Jack, but it is going to be a Happy New Year. Look at that. He does look very cross, doesn't he? And there are the two mice celebrating. So that was a very clever idea, wasn't it? And there they are with their Stilton cheese. That was a really lovely story. Now, I hope you have a really lovely Christmas Eve and sleep well. And hopefully Father Christmas will come and see you too. Merry Christmas. Good night.